This episode of Total Drama Reviews contains clips from Total Drama Island. I do not own Total Drama Island. All rights go to FreshTV. Remember to be civil and do not be mean in the comments. Seriously, it can get really messed up. Carpe diem, my name is Ultranatic, and this is Total Drama Reviews. This is where I, as a lover of animation and reality shows, look over the show to combine them together the best. And the episode we're looking over today is called Camp Castaways. In this episode, our four remaining campers get stuck on a deserted island and have to work together to either survive or make it off the island alive. And that's it. I mean, that sounds substantial for a plot, but do you know what happens by the end of the story? Nothing that actually furthers the overall storyline. They're all still alive at the end, all the animosity they have for each other remains intact, and no one gets eliminated. Sounds pretty similar to another episode I reviewed.
The Brunch of Disgustingness!
Black. But intriguingly, this episode is nowhere near as bad as that one. I mean, it's hard to dig a hole deeper in the center of the earth. But before I go into the episode overall, I want to give a little bit of information about reality shows in general. For those who don't watch reality TV, the genre has one primary goal: high ratings by any means necessary. Okay, every genre of TV does that, but reality shows feel different. They often seem more fabricated and in many cases contrived. And Lord knows I haven't seen that from Total Drama Island in the past. But the good news is, whether or not you like this genre, this objective does deliver some of the most entertaining moments in all of television.
And if I could legally moon you, I would.
I was violated, humiliated, dehumanized, and totally spent, Jack.
Now vote me out, bitch!
You call me a bitch today, and you want me to keep my mouth shut?
Take your jacket off and
Oh, Jeff, don't say that, please!
Goodbye, good riddance to you.
He can't get the photo out.
The point I'm trying to make is that reality shows are some of the most over-the-top shows on TV. If reality TV is such an insane genre in live action, imagine that with cartoon characters. That's amazing! And yet, does Total Drama Island feel that much like an animated reality show? Okay, objectively, yes it is one. It's a reality show in animated format. But let's look at this critically. There are several aspects of this show that wouldn't look out of place in a live-action reality show. Now, don't get me wrong, several moments were great in animation. That casualty counter I'm still trying to raise to 100, none of those marks would be ignored in live-action, Lashana. But in cartoon format, we just kind of accept it. However, most of the showmances, like Gidget and especially Gwent, they're not really all that dynamic in animation because very little about their romances are actually cartoony. What I'm trying to say is that while I do like this show, the fact that it's anime has kind of been wasted throughout most of the season. Which is thankfully not the case for this episode. You wanna know why? Well, grab a life preserver. This is Camp Castaways. So we open with Chris promising a bizarre episode full of surprises.
For instance, take this weather. Rain is not an easy thing to control, let me tell you.
Sure it is, just ask Ed Harris in The Truman Show.
Listen up, campers. One of the most grueling challenges of any summer camp experience is the dreaded rain day, where all activities with even the remotest possibility of fun are canceled.
I don't know, kids nowadays have plenty of fun without going outside. It's called Wi-Fi, it's a beautiful thing. Now take that away, then yes, Chris is right.
Frowning like a big suck won't bring Lashana back, you know. It'll just give you premature wrinkles. Oops. Too late.
Guys, I hope you like that, because first off, that was a solid burn on point with the one that Gwen gave her, and that's off the chain.
Excellent aerodynamics, Heather.
It only weighs 2 ounces. Like her brain.
Would you like some aloe vera? You just got burned.
And second, because that's what takes up 75% of the episode. It's just these three contestants constantly snapping one-liners at each other.
You paddle like a girl.
If you don't like the accommodations, there's the door. I'm out of here.
You don't even know where you're going.
Who cares? At least it's not here with you.
I can't bond with you guys anymore because you're all crazy.
You say that like you're not.
As for the other 25%, well, that's Owen.
Speaking of which, where is Owen?
Woohoo! Final four, baby!
Oh yeah, Owen's whole role in the episode is to basically be SpongeBob, which is shorthand for being the character he's been all throughout the season. Optimistic, lighthearted, and with great likelihood to flip his lid at any given moment.
Listen, you cross-ages cheapskate, Squidward's been living at my house driving me crazy, and you're not gonna hire him back all because of a stupid dime!
It's a good thing no one knows about the junk food I'm stashing.
There's something about this confessional that just makes me want to confess stuff.
But yeah, this is the most likable I've ever seen Owen. But as good as that is, I advertise this episode as being a cartoony portrayal of reality shows. But even given the weather manipulation, we haven't seen that yet. When's the ridiculous, truly animated stuff going to come in?
Hey, Chef, you seen the campers?
No!
I can't find them either. Come to think of it, I can't even find their cabins.
And there you have it, people. TDI's portrayal of water every hair.
Ah! What the?
Oh, this is magnificent, though it begs the question of why the frickin' dining hall wasn't washed away too. Those buildings all look like they were made and secured the same way, so why is it still in place? Did the staff also control what washed away somehow? Actually, plot holes aside, you wanna know what I like about this so much? It's that this has actually happened on Survivor before. Just not to this degree. In one season, some of the supplies from a camp was physically washed away by a flood. And in another recent season, both camps were evacuated by production because the weather was that bad.
The storm is getting worse, so for the first time, we are going to evacuate.
And this is a show that at least tries to not interfere with camp life at all. If you're hit with bad weather, you just endure it. But in that instance, the weather was so bad it was threatening the contestants' safety. How do you top all that with animation? Just have the freaking cabins wash away completely with them in it and never waking up until the next morning.
You know, this is so ridiculous, it's almost funny.
Play that again. I swear on the Bible of Hanna-Barbera, I did not add that sound effect in. That came with the visual. So now they've got a mystery on their hands. Okay, no they don't, but they somehow make it to land where they contemplate their misfortune.
Is anyone else a little creeped by this deserted island?
We've obviously just drifted downstream. The producers will send a search party.
Sure, maybe they'll include that camera guy right in front of us. Wait, seriously, who are they kidding? They should know it's a setup by Chris. Which is why Chris is confused as to where the campers went.
I can't find them either. Come to think of it, I can't even find their cabins.
Wait, why am I questioning an episode that used this sound effect?
Mental note, never sign up for a reality show ever again.
Let's just chill until the rescue team arrives.
I say we build a raft and try to sail back to camp.
Good call. Let's get more lost.
Duncan, do you know where you guys are currently? If you don't, then how can you get more lost?
That doesn't even make any sense.
But Heather does the rare thing of walking away from drama and stumbles across another part of this deserted island.
Beat sleeping on the beach.
And after Owen finds the island, they all come across something you see commonly in museums. Why are you screaming at that? It's actually made unintentionally funnier when Heather comes across it immediately after. Can't believe she didn't notice that by the treehouse. Also, I can't believe how none of these campers can hear the others screaming. You might as well be wearing Stan Lee's headphones. Of course, Owen overcomes his fear at the sight of food.
Hey, are those coconuts?
Will someone please explain to me why there are palm trees and coconuts up here? We're in northern Ontario.
You and Courtney share the exact same complaint.
Ow! This is a coconut. If you're going to draw props on my head, at least make them geographically correct! Ow!
It's been a grueling 9 minutes of isolation, where a human mind is ripe for cracking. You know what I'm talking about, right, Mr. Coconut?
Okay, two things. One, 9 minutes of isolation caused you to go crazy, despite drifting in the confession camp for hours on end. And second, I'm starting to wonder if all those times that Owen was narrating his hunting exploits, that he wasn't just hallucinating an audience being there.
The hunter is a finely tuned machine. His senses heightened by the thrill of the chase.
Owen, give up that childish game. No one is watching you. You're on a reality show, for God's sake.
Don't you see? It's so obviously another survival challenge. What's obvious is that we're stranded on a deserted island and we'll die unless we build a raft.
One, anyone ever tell you that you're dumber than a bag of hammers? This deserted island has a treehouse with a skeleton in the doorway and a T-Rex skull mere feet away. I think New York City is less populated than this deserted island. So after more bickering, the three decide to split up with their own plans. Because in survival plots, that doesn't lead to something bad happening ever.
Then let's make a new rule. Every camper for themselves.
Fine.
Say, wasn't there a total drama quote made explicitly for this scenario?
Rule number 1, do not go off on your own.
Then let's make a new rule. Every camper for themselves.
Fine.
I'm such a hypocrite.
After we see Owen has grown a beard in the span of 11 extra minutes.
11 minutes of isolation, and Mr. Coconut and I have decided to live in the outhouse where it's safe.
Oh man, I don't have a clue where that thing went. Note to self, next time make more than one arrow.
Oh, I don't know, Stephen Amell. I think Artemis from Young Justice fared fine. Duncan is able to score some fruit and an egg, but I'm assuming he's never seen any Jurassic Park film because... Okay, I know we already saw those in Up the Creek, but still, I can't believe this. A reality show, animated or otherwise, with a pterodactyl in it. That's like a reality show with zombies.
I even raise the dead from the deadly haze. Don't wave to them or say hello. They're just as stinky as the next fellow.
Wait, they actually did that? That's incredible! And that's not credible, but please, more of this nonsense!
Hey, where did you get that chocolate?
Just Owen's secret stash of junk food.
You gotta share that with us, man. We're starving.
Duncan, let me give you 3 reasons why your request is done. 1, you're asking Heather. You're more likely to get a good deal from Pawn Stars. 2, you're carrying food in your hand, so she has even more reason to refuse your request. And 3, you can go through obstacle courses, do several push-ups, win dodgeball tournaments, and shoot arrows. Not to discount Heather's physical abilities or anything, but couldn't you just take the food by force?
You gotta share that with us, man. We're starving.
No, be assertive.
Oh no, I believe the term was every camper for themselves.
We cut back to Chris and Schiff lounging nearby, which does make their quote-unquote desertion funnier. But rather than fight Heather like the pansy Duncan is, he just hitches a ride with Gwen, even though he still assumes they're not far from camp anyways. Can any of you stick to your assumptions? Because I'm assuming you can't.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you just rode us in a big circle, because there's the shore again.
Looks like our deserted island isn't so deserted.
Ding, ding, ding! What do we have for her, Johnny?
Duncan tries to run away with the egg, but...
I hate to be the we've got company guy, but...
Yes, that pterodactyl actually attacks. And Gwen and Duncan don't even question it. Gwen, I get she saw them already, but this doesn't faze Duncan at all. I mean, for comparison's sake, take a look at this clip from Recess School's Out. Okay, that's repetitive, but at least he's acknowledging something they don't see every day. And ninjas actually exist, unlike any kind of pterodactyl which went extinct eons ago. So why isn't this being seen as an even bigger deal?
Dude, we're the iPhone generation. The only time we're ever actually shocked is when Facebook changes their layout.
Again, when I'm advertised a reality show in animation, this is what I'm looking for. Stuff you'd normally see in generic action flicks that you wouldn't be able to take seriously. In that genre, they'd be seen as too, well, cartoony. But in a cartoon environment, it fits fine. Heck, it's a lot of fun to watch. Owen then finds Heather, but not without first thinking she's a mirage.
Owen? Is that you? You completely freaked me out. And what is with that fake beard?
Ow!
Oh, go ahead, pull it.
Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Heather! Is it really you? You're not a mirage?
I'm 100% confident that 10 years ago, no one paid attention to that clip of Owen slapping Heather for no good reason. But in this overtly sensitive PC world, he'd already be given 20 jail terms. Yeah, I don't want to get political here, but we can't act like that isn't true or that it didn't happen. Weirdly, I give it a pass because Owen is clearly not thinking straight, unlike Cody, who... I forgive but not forget. And by some stroke of coincidence, the pterodactyl drops squonking right by them shortly after. I won't add that to the casualty counter because they probably survived that fall. Don't worry, my sweet, we'll reach a 3-digit score soon. We just have to be patient with ourselves.
At last, we're together. I shall never let go. Oh, let me rephrase that.
And after all this craziness, what's the most pressing question?
What's with the fake beard?
Ow!
Take that ridiculous thing off!
Chris and Chef choose to check on the status of the campers while they bore themselves with Owen. Actually, being stuck with Owen Borum is the least of your worries.
I spy with my little eye something that is caramelly.
Malamar.
Right again!
That's it! I can't bond with you guys anymore because you're all crazy! At least I've got my game on. Hello? None of us are in the competition because the producers think we're dead.
Gwen, you're worse than flat earthers. Nothing that's happened to you gives you the slightest indication that you're still on the show. My alarm pieces of styrofoam are less thick than you are. Of course, Owen comes up with a way to calm everyone's nerves down.
We need to confess our sins. I confessed all my sins and felt great.
Yep, all those confessions of Owen pleading guilty to various misdemeanors, they were all a build-up to this moment.
Don't you want to clear your conscience before you die?
Whoa, so that's what you went to juvie hall for?
Yeah.
You really are a pyro, aren't you? Is that what you went to juvie for?
Like I tell you why I went to
So that's what you went to juvie hall for?
Yeah.
I can't believe just how inconsistent you are!
But at least it's not as bad as what Heather did.
I admit it was a little unorthodox, but it doesn't come close to what Gwen did. If that's even your real name.
This is one of the best scenes in the entire episode. And simultaneously one of the worst. How can I hold both those opinions at the exact same time? Well, what makes this scene work is that we don't see what the sins of the contestants were, but rather the others' reactions to them. And I know I harp on contestants not getting a lot of development, but it's not needed here. When somehow fan-favorite Gwen's biggest sin is worse than the one from the delinquent and the abandoned pregnancy of Beelzebub, it just adds to the mystery of what these sins are. And I love that! That's absolutely brilliant! Or it would be in literally any other genre of TV. Yeah, this scene works great with one major exception. The fact that it's being shown on a reality show. I'm sorry, but based on their reactions, these secrets are so juicy it make the O.J. Simpson trial look like a footnote by comparison. And yet you don't reveal what the secrets are?
At least it's not as bad as what Heather did.
Either A, I've been right this whole time and told Drama just has a really crappy camera crew that somehow lost the footage. Or B, and far less likely, they decided to respect the contestants' privacy.
I admit it was a little unorthodox, but it doesn't come close to what Gwen did.
And no, would not happen in any kind of reality show, realistic or otherwise. If you reveal a terrible secret about yourself on a reality show, they show it. It'll boost their ratings up. They have no reason not to show it.
She told me one of the worst stories I've ever heard about her background. She starts to play this self-righteous thing. I will sink her dead and tell everyone the story she told me.
Now, for the sake of argument, maybe these sins were so bad they're criminal offenses, and they're just trying to keep the campers out of jail. But no, even them, reality shows have not kept that kind of information hidden. In Australian Big Brother, one drunk contestant admitted to their sister possibly being involved in someone's murder.
Okay, she was involved with the man that killed a dude.
Yeah. Now that person was intoxicated, so maybe they didn't mean that. I don't know, the true story behind it is pretty blurry. But regardless, that confession is on YouTube. It was shown, they did nothing to really hide it. So if reality shows will do that, then why keep these secrets that are juicier than a rare steak quiet?
But it doesn't come close to what Gwen did. If that's even your real name.
I mean, this is a show hosted by Chris McClain. He wouldn't give two middle fingers about how the campers are perceived outside the game. So yeah, that seems amazing for a cartoon, but unfiltered sewage for a reality show. I expect better from a show that counts a parent's squawks as a vote. Actually, this is not that surprising anymore. But they see some smoke on this deserted island and decide to test who it might be by... This is making Monty Python look like Pluto Nash. Why do you guys have a supply of war paint on you? And why does Duncan's make him look like a member of KISS? And of course, how are they gonna get down from the treehouse with that snake there?
Oh, that.
That guy got hit in the head with a coconut!
Why didn't you do that hours ago?
What? And miss out on all our bonding?
I've been praying for Total Drama to get this funny, and it finally happened. They ambush Christian Chef, and of course, the challenge is over. I'm not even clear on what that challenge was, but yeah, it's over. As if the parade hasn't been rained on enough.
Sorry. I'd invite you in, but there's only room for 6.
That phallic-faced personality that Chris gets in the future still shines through here, but it's still pretty funny. Comedy is based on misery, after all. Speaking of which, marshmallow ceremony time. But who are they voting off? There hasn't been any sort of build-up to that. Should I expect Heather as per usual, or maybe Owen since he was away from the group, or...
Wait a minute. You have 4 marshmallows. That's one for each of us.
Excellent observation, dude. Heather, Duncan, Gwen, Owen.
Oh no, you don't mean!
Yep, it's time for Mr. Coconut to walk the dock of shame.
Pardonnez-moi.
Time for Mr. Coconut to walk the dock of shame.
But why?
Yeah, this is the ending. Normally I call that an absolute cop-out, but it still makes me laugh. Why is this still funny to me? Actually, the answer is quite obvious. Because the word coconut is just funny.
Mr. Coconut!
And to be fair, if a parrot can count as a vote in one episode, then Mr. Coconut can definitely be considered a contestant in this one.
Get it together, dude. You're starting to creep me out.
Mr. Coconut!
Well done! I'm sorry!
You were all expecting that to play. Normally I'm not that cliche, but I just couldn't resist.
By the way, what we confessed back there stays back there.
Oh yeah.
No argument.
We just gotta hope that the production crew doesn't show those clips, but that's a pipe dream. Several months and 22 minutes later. Wow, that was uncharacteristically nice of them. This episode is absolutely bonkers, and I absolutely loved it. Yes, this episode is pointless. Yes, it doesn't have an actual elimination. Yes, you could skip it and miss nothing in the overall season. Much like Brunch of Disgustingness. But unlike Brunch of Disgustingness, I don't want to skip this episode. It's just rolling on the floor like a log downhill levels of hilarious. Just seeing this over-the-top ridiculous cartoon scenario is exactly what I need in a show that's surprisingly more straightforward than you'd expect. It was a blast from beginning to end, and if given the option, I'd gladly watch the shipwreck again and again and again. That being said, let's get back on track here. We have an actual elimination in the next episode, right? Perfect. And we get a new challenge too. Total drama, I think you might be the most environmentally friendly cartoon on the planet. Because you do a lot of recycling. Dad jokes all around!
Rain, rain on my face. Hasn't stopped raining for days. My world is a flood.